Hi, my name is Dr. Rob Ward, and I want to welcome you to another edition of our classroom on redox biochemistry as it applies to various health issues. Tonight we're going to talk about an important topic. It has to do with obesity and the connection to redox biochemistry in our body. It's a very important connection, and it is responsible for unlocking some secrets that I think you'll enjoy learning about. So here's how our problem with obesity kind of works. As you know, we've got an epidemic going on in America. We lead the world in industrialized countries for obesity. And the epidemic of obesity began roughly in the 1970s with changes to our food. Those changes included the introduction of corn syrup in soda pop and other food items. It came in the awareness that we thought that cholesterol was the worst thing in the world for our hearts and our arteries. We were wrong, but we started eating packaged foods that were low in cholesterol, that were high in sugar. And all of a sudden, we started introducing lots of starches, lots of sugars, and chemicals to preserve them and make them taste better in these boxes and bags that we began eating. And all of a sudden, we started delivering new messages to our digestive tract. New kinds of nutrients that our bodies were not used to. So food represents information to the little microorganisms that live in our intestinal tract. The genetic information and the genetic direction that these microorganisms deliver to our body is called the microbiome. And this information switches on or switches off many of the adaptogenic genes in our biology, our cells. So when we have organisms that are shifting into a pathogenic picture, instead of beneficial bacteria, we've got survival bacteria that are not so healthy for us, but help us survive. We start to develop inflammation in our gut. That's important. So in addition to providing lots and lots of calories that may be very empty, just calories, but not many nutrients, we're also changing the inflammatory picture of the gut. Well, this is the pivotal moment. This is where we activate certain transcription factors. These are little proteins that direct our cells to act a certain way. One in particular is called nuclear factor kappa beta. And this particular one and others creates an environment where we start to have oxidation going on uncontrolled. So the phosphorylation of multiple targets or oxidation of multiple targets becomes a problem. So it's at this step that we may want to try to intervene. It's at this step that we may want to try and intervene with our concepts of redox chemistry. So back to the oxidation problem. So inflammation leads to activation of certain proteins that causes oxidation. That oxidative stress shows up on our insulin receptors. And this is where we have problems with weight gain, because if these receptors are phosphorylated or oxidized, we can't get food into cells where it's going to get used to burn as fuel and to help the cell do its job. Instead, the food, the calories, wind up getting stuck and not going into the cells, rather they go into fat. So food goes into fat, or it's going to go into cells, and that's going to determine what happens to our metabolic posture. So where does redox chemistry come into play here in this scheme of things? Well, it turns out that we can help the bacteria population by providing a resource, a supplementation of balanced redox molecules. The little germs that are the guys that are good, they like these molecules, redox molecules. They actually help the happy or healthy germs for our gut to flourish. And the pathogenic germs really don't care. They're on their own agenda. They don't care about the balance of redox chemistry. Also, when we activate our antioxidants, activating antioxidants will block this oxidation process and keep the insulin receptors from getting oxidized. And so we activate our antioxidants by providing those antioxidants with the very molecules that we need to give them the tools to work with. Redox molecules help antioxidants like glutathione, superoxide dismutase, catalase, and others to do their work. So when we have a balance in our redox chemistry by providing our body with outside resources of balanced redox molecules, we have an opportunity to support, the good germs and cut down on inflammation, and to activate our antioxidants. So by doing so, we can open up our metabolic pathways, help our bodies stay in balance with regard to our food intake and our burning our fuels, and that will lead to less problems with weight gain. Thanks for being attentive to this class, and we'll see you at the next one.